Yeah, we expected this to be a really tough game. Statistically, going into the game, something had to give. They're stingy defensively. We were scoring. We knew it was going to be tight, but I think there are also some questions that we didn't have answers for going into the game. Didn't know how our team would respond to this team that we played. Cal is really, really good defensively. They do a really good job guarding one-on-one. They are physical. They can take you out of your sets. They don't give you anything easy. And really proud of our basketball team for finding a way to win the game and showing a little grit and toughness on the way.
Grace, 73 points over your last 3 games. You are on a hot streak, to say the least. What is working with you over these last 3 games?
Yeah, I think just really being able to come out and play as a team. We, pride ourselves in playing fast and, finding the open man. So I think my teammates have just done a really good job of being able to find me in transition, which is a place we like to play in, and just, being able to execute and finish when I can.
Shannon, what's going through your mind when you see that final shot go down?
Relief, definitely, to say the least. I was just so relieved. It's one of those shots that's just so wide open that you really got to focus even more to make it because it's so wide open.
Shannon, can you walk us through the design of that play and then how that one came together?
Yeah, I think so. When we inbounded it, I think there was just so much attention on Grace that when she ghosted it, I was just left so wide open, and that's really the design.
For Grace, that 3 you made from the corner that had a million bounces in the air, just what's going through your mind when you get that off before the shot clock, but it's bouncing around there like that?
Yeah, pretty similar to Shannon. Felt relieved to see that go through the net and, put us up 1. But, I could hear the bench behind me just counting down. So just knowing that I had to get it off, but that I had time. So, be in a hurry but not rushed. And I practiced that shot, with my coaches a lot. So I felt, confident being able to get it up.
For both Grace and Shannon, you guys had a 5-point deficit entering that final frame. What was kind of the message from the coaching staff, and how well do you guys think you executed it in that final frame?
Yeah, Coach Harper actually just made, a comment in the locker room that in about the 3rd or 4th quarter we could have, we had that deficit. And so just, being able to take it 1 possession at a time, get 1 stop at a time, and really listen to our coaches and, the timeouts and just, really rely on our scout, just being able to fight back and claw back to get the win.
I agree with what Grace said. I think it's definitely just going play by play. And for our team, toughness and grit was like a huge emphasis this week. I mean, every game, but especially this week, knowing that we were going to have to fight through a lot. Like Coach said, they're a very good defense team. They don't foul much usually. So we really had to be tough with the ball and just fight.
Shannon, you were incredibly efficient at the free throw line today. You're starting to warm up from the free throw line, and you're slashing in at an insane rate. What is your mentality going to the free throw line and getting in the paint so frequently?
I really just have to focus on the make. I can't think about it too much because then I will miss it. But just keeping my same routine, knowing that we need these shots is just what I'm thinking about.
Shannon, this is both you and Coach Harper's first year with Missouri. What is a game like this? How does it contribute to your relationship, both with working with and learning from each other?
I think this was a good test for us. I think really just understanding her philosophies, really buying into what she's saying. And this game itself, it really just builds that trust with Coach Harper. You just really feel like she knows what she's talking about because everything that she said was done today.
For both of you, what do you feel like has clicked defensively the last couple of games?
That's a good question. I really think we have areas to work on, but when we are really locked in, I think our communication has gotten better. So when we are just able to really communicate and execute, just scout and personnel, I think, and also just getting a board finish. That's been a big emphasis for us is not letting the team, be able to play another round of offense. When we can get a defensive rebound, and that's a stop for us.
No.
Go ahead, Coach has challenged the team's competitive competitiveness a few times this season. What does a game like this, a fight and finish like this, do for that mentality and that message that Coach drives to it?
Yeah, I think just being able to finish a game and, see a win on a scoreboard with such a great team like Cal really can definitely give us confidence, but I think we also can reflect on this game and learn so much from it. We weren't perfect defensively, offensively, execution-wise. So just being able to learn from this game, but also know we were able to get a win, I think is a big confidence builder. But then, once again, just taking the learning side from it as well.
Grace, you finished the game with no turnovers. You had turnovers been declining every single game for the most part. What do you think has been so successful to allow you guys to hold on to the ball and keep those extra possessions?
Yeah, I think, part of that has really just been our confidence in our offense and just getting used to the flow of what, if the first option isn't open, then we're also still getting used to playing with each other. So just knowing that second, third option is going to be there. And when we can be more confident with the ball, I think that just helps us get into a better flow offensively and just a little bit more calm on both sides.
Grace, you out-rebounded JD today. You're rebounding at a rate that we haven't seen from you here at Mizzou. Is it something with the Harper system, or are you just elevating in your rebounding game this year?
Yeah, that's definitely been something they've challenged me to do. And I think, I've been in more of a position to get some more rebounds, playing a little bit more in the post area, which has been good on both sides of the ball. So, yeah, I think that's been something they've challenged me on, and I've really tried to just grow in that area. I know it's something they need me to do to help us win games. And so if I can just have a mindset to rebound on both sides, it can help us.
Go ahead.
Thank you. For both Grace and Shannon, you guys have been kind of the offensive engines for this team. What's it like kind of working off one another and being able to bounce and rely on one another?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun to play with Shannon. We got to play with each other this summer, and now getting, to play with each other in games. You were getting used to each other, and just, I'd say it's a lot of fun. I mean, at the end there, you saw us, setting a ghost screen, and Shannon, getting an open layup, and that's just, can confuse the defense. And just, I know Shannon, is bringing the ball up, which has been great for us, and pace offensively. And so it's a lot of fun, and I think we're still getting used to each other as we continue to play and grow together.
Shannon, talk to me a little bit about that steal. It looked like we were possibly going into free throws. Missouri might need to hit a big three to stay in that game. Then you get that steal, and suddenly everything flips. You get the timeout, and now we get an offensive play call. Take me through your head and all that.
Okay, so the lineup, it was weird. So when we got the steal, Jayla threw the ball up to me ahead, and I'm like looking at Coach thinking she's going to call timeout, confused whether I should just take it. She ended up calling the timeout, which was good. It was
Thanks.
honestly that was a bit of confusion on my part, honestly, but it worked out.
Shannon and Grace, how is this team different than it was 5 weeks ago?
I think this team has just really grown playing together on the court. Our coaches have talked to us about, not continuing to make mistakes we've made, 2 to 3 to 5 weeks ago. And so I think really just being able to take, the lessons that they're teaching us to heart and just really being able to grow in those areas, has been a big emphasis for us, and I think something we're really trying to do.
Yeah, I think getting comfortable with each other, like building trust with each other, knowing that somebody's going to be there for you to pick you up, communicate, tell you when you're wrong, taking accountability. I feel like those are all things that we've grown with over the past 5 weeks. So I really feel like, and also as a team, we've been getting tougher, I feel like, mentally tougher.
We'll take one or two more if you guys have them.
The biggest change for this roster was putting Chloe Sotel in the starting lineup. How has that affected you two having Chloe in the starting lineup now?
Yeah, no, Chloe's a lot of fun to play with, and I think, she brings some spark, but also just a pretty good basketball IQ. I feel like she's able to make some reads, that three-pointer, she saw that JD had 2 people on her, and my man was in on her, and she was able to make that skip pass. So just the finds and her scrappiness defensively has really impressed me, and so she does a lot of good things on both sides of the ball that have been great for us.
Anyone have one more?
Shannon, I apologize for not knowing your history with game winners, but was that your first game winner in an organized basketball game?
I'm thinking so.
All right, we'll both dismiss the players on that.
Good job, y'all. Both of you. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, we'll keep rolling with questions for Coach.
Kelly, that 18
PTO call out of the timeout at the very end there. Just walk us through kind of what you wanted out of that and
Yeah,
think
well,
it's gonna work.
let me back up. She said the confusion. I saw it. So that's why I called the timeout. After I did it, I wasn't sure it was the right decision, to be honest with you. But if there's any indecision with the ball handler, I feel like you got to make that call. And so we did. Those situations, Todd Schaefer, assistant coach, does an unbelievable job in those in our special situations, what we would call them. So we got the lineup in that we wanted in. We went small to try to spread them out a little bit, and we knew we were going to get Shannon on a downhill opportunity. But we needed a little bit more interference. That's where Grace came in. So we got Grace in there with some interference that caused a split second of indecision by their defender, which gave Shannon an open look. It was almost so open. I'm glad she admitted that, because I was a little nervous. It was very open. It's one of those that you're just, oh my gosh, make the layup. You could see it happening, and proud of her, proud of the execution that we had in that moment. And I'll go back to proud of the defensive stop that we got to put us in that position to win the game.
Coach, 4 straight wins since the loss to Troy. What do you see as the biggest change in your team across these past 2 weeks?
Well, the 3 games previous were all very similar style opponents. They played actually the same. They ran the same offensive principles. They guarded very similarly. So I thought we went in those and handled it. We guarded the same thing for 3 straight games. So I thought that was, timing wise, it couldn't have been more perfect. So it allowed us to really sit in our scout and really understand how we were guarding these specific actions. This game's different. This game was very different. Going into this, I think, we had some questions how we were going to play. They look very different than the teams we just played. We handled those, but could we handle this? And the biggest question in my mind was, were we going to be able to score enough points to get the win? Our defense has gotten better, but we knew this game we were going to have to score. I mean, we only took 13 threes. We take more than that. They're hard to get off against this team, and so proud of our team for fighting and grinding it out.
Coach, similar question to what I asked the players is, you're having Chloe in the starting lineup in these last 3-4 games. Why is that changing?
Yeah, I think Grace hit it exactly right. Chloe's got a really good IQ. She has been very scrappy, and she's given us a lot of energy. And those things are much needed on our basketball team, and she's done a really good job on the defensive end. I think she's just really trying to do what we ask her to do within our system, but then she'll go in and make a hustle play, and those are important to our basketball team.
Coach, take me through the 3-point battle. This was the least amount of threes you guys made in a win. Was that something in your scout early on? Why was that change for threes?
Oh, it was them. It was not us. We wanted to shoot them. We just didn't. We didn't have any open ones. They guard. They do not come off of shooters. So we knew going in we were going to have to score at the rim more than normal because of their 3-point defense. They average giving up 12 a game. So that was nothing new coming in. We knew that was going to be a challenge for us.
Coach, I think this is Shannon's 5th game with at least 7 free throw attempts. She obviously got to the line a lot when she was at Illinois State, but how helpful is having that kind of player who can create their own going downhill, whether you're in a muck offensively or whether you're in a rhythm and she's getting going down?
Yeah, I think the thing about our offense, we do shoot threes, but we're just really aggressive. And we've got 2 extremely aggressive players in Shannon and Grace. And, Shannon's looking to go downhill as every possession. And right now, she'll go in and take some contact, and that's what's getting her to the free throw line. She's got a great burst, and she's got a really good change of speed, which allows her to get by defenders, and she's going to score. And if you're going in there trying to get a foul, you may or may not get it. But if you go in there to score, that's when you can get yourself to the free throw line. And the other thing this team does, they don't foul a lot. They don't foul a lot. So 14's probably low for us in terms of attempts on free throws, but for them, they just don't send teams to the free throw line.
Coach, this is the first game in this season that you played less than 9 people in rotation. Why was that?
just the way the game was being played. We felt like they were playing 4 guards, and so we felt like we were going to be able to play our guards in a 4-man rotation or a 4-player position during this game and be able to spread them out a little bit more.
Shannon mentioned being mentally tougher. From a coach's perspective, how have you seen that develop over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks here, and how close is it to where you want it to be in this game?
Yeah, man, we work really hard on our toughness, whether that's our physical toughness, our mental toughness. We work hard on it, and that's through games and through practices. And I mean, let me tell you, every hustle play that we have, we show it to them on film. You know, we encourage it, and we were able to, we're starting to see a few more. What I loved about this, we came to the bench after the third quarter in that timeout. You asked them, I don't think they repeated anything that I said. I was thinking, wow, that sounds good. I'm not sure I said that, but I told them I did say we did not have a good third quarter. And I looked up, I mean, this is the moment as a coach, you look everybody in the eye, every single one of them. We're going to win this game. We can win this game, and you've got to believe we can win this game. But you're not going to get it back. They did say that. You're not going to get it back in one possession. It's going to be a grind. We're going to have 10 minutes of a grind, but you can do it. And there's something to be said about following through in that moment. And I think Grace's shot to put us up 1, man, that was so big, you know, but they scored again, right? So the back and forth, we could have easily folded. We could have said, woe is me. We could have started taking bad shots. And we didn't. We made big shots. You don't just go out and win because you say, I want to win, let's go. You have to make plays. And Grace hit the 3, Jayla hit a jumper, we got some stops, and we went and earned the win down the stretch.
Coach, Grace and Shannon both scored over 20 in the game. They're both over 18 for the season. Just how important is it to have not just one, but 2 players that can kind of be go-tos for your offense down the stretch?
Yeah, I think for us, having a couple players that we can run a lot of plays to, because they're that aggressive, that's important for our offense. I mean, obviously, statistically, everybody knows that. But the other thing it does, it opens up some opportunities for other people, because those 2 are really hard to guard one-on-one. They did a decent job tonight, but they're hard to guard one-on-one. And anytime you can get teams in rotations, anytime you can beat your man, it opens up the floor for other people to make plays as well.
We'll take 1 or 2 more.
Coach.
Cal was an 8 seed in the NCAA tournament last year. What do you feel like a win like this, you know, this early in, you know, the campaign says about what this group is capable of doing, you know, down the line?
Yeah, I think this was a huge win for us. There's no doubt about it. To play this team, to have maybe some momentum and some confidence. I think confidence in close games is important too. You know, if we happen to do this again, maybe we can reflect back on some positives from this game. So I think this is a big win for us in so many areas. And how we won it, that's a big deal. That we can come back. It wasn't our prettiest game. I know we were low turnovers really, but it wasn't our prettiest, most well-executed game. So we won ugly. That's good. To win ugly shows grit and toughness as well. And I'm glad to see that.
Coach, am I good there? Okay. Abby's on a bit of a cold streak right now. How do you coach that when a player, especially a starting player, is on a bit of a slow slump?
Yeah, you know, Abby's a great shooter. She really is. And when she's not making shots, you just got to know the next one's going in. She's a really she's an important player on our team. If you look down here and you look at that little stat down at the end, our plus minus, Abby usually has a pretty solid plus minus. We won by 1 point, and she was +9 when she was in the game. So Abby does positive things for us even when she's not making shots. And I think her teammates love the comfort of her being out there because she is actually one of our more vocal players.
All right, well, and on that, thank you guys.
All right. Thank you guys for coming.